longer the run, the better for Brad Keselowski. On the left side of your screen, Carl Edwards is enjoying some newfound life as he has got door-to-door action going with Stephen Wallace, and that is for 7th on the racetrack. Give the position to Carl. He too coming forward.
That looks like Carl's made some good decisions on his tire pressure and what they need out of that number 64 to get it to the front, because I'm watching his lap speeds and they're pretty doggone good right now. He's probably right where he wants the car, real close to it.
Check in on the battle for 2nd position. Brad Coleman has it. Justin Allgaier would like to take it away. Allgaier takes the low line, but doesn't have a good enough run. You see every now and then a little glimpse there in the foreground is the race leader, Joey Logano.
You got to really hand it to Brad Coleman. He doesn't race in this series regularly. Although we know how good this 18 car is, he's still got to get in there and make it happen, and he's doing a great job behind the wheel of this thing tonight. Did a good job last week. It's just got to be hard to do, not racing any more than he does.
Well, I totally agree with you, Andy. Just like Kyle Busch said last week in his interview, he said, you know, Brad did a pretty doggone respectable job, and he did. He didn't tear the car up. It is looking really good tonight. Take a look at the right side of your screen. Brendan Gaughan and Josh Weiss going at it.
That battle right there is for 11th on the racetrack, and you can see that Josh Wise has that position. Meanwhile, as you look further, you can see that we have little packs of 2 about every other grouping. As here comes the 22 of Brad Keselowski looking underneath the 33 of Mike Bliss. So Keselowski moves into 5th position after starting 25th. He is 2.7 seconds behind, but he actually ran his last lap quicker than race leader Joey Logano by a 10th. Before this is done, this is going to be very, very interesting. Joey Logano looking to win 3 in a row here. Brad Keselowski looking to dominate the points championship. Who's going to be the winner? Stay with us to find out. We're not even. Welcome back to the Meijer 300 presented by Ritz, and you can go to shophonda.com to sign up for a chance to start the Indy Grand Prix of Sonoma in the Eyes on IndyCar 2-seater driven by Mario Andretti. That's right. The winner will ride during the pace lap and be on the course for the start of the Indy Grand Prix of Sonoma. Somebody's going to have a lot of fun.
And I'd like to ride with Mario.
Guarantee you he'll pull your wig back. Joey Logano is your race leader right now by almost a second over teammate Brad Coleman. Then on back to Justin Allgaier, Reed Sorensen, Brad Keselowski. That rounds out your top 5. But one story we want to update you on. The 7 of Josh Wise. He is in 11th position, but he has had an issue that doesn't happen very often, but can be very painful. Vince, take us through it.
Well, it certainly has been a handful for Josh Wise tonight. The car hasn't been handling just right, but then he had a headrest problem. The headrest in his car came loose, and it was creating a lot of buffeting with his head. Listen to the radio communication.
Just reach up there and massage your neck muscles a little bit. Get them back into where they don't cramp up on you. And I know you're pretty sore. You know, it's hard enough to ride around there without no headrest.
Yeah, when I was slowed down there, I literally had to put my head on the headrest, and it was like I had my head tilted sideways trying to drive for a few laps. I just had no straight left.
Yeah, Wise lost a few spots during that time, too. So what were they going to do? Well, the team actually started building a new piece in the pit lane. You see the guys putting together a portion of a new headrest that they once Wise came in during a pit stop. They would give him the new portion of the headrest to wedge in between the old headrest and his helmet to stabilize his head. That was a major issue for Josh Wise. They lost some spots, but they have taken care of the problem. Now Wise is starting to run some better lap times. Let's get more on how this all came together with Tim Brewer in the Craftsman Tech Garage.
Thanks, Vince. Inside this area right here, it's the driver's responsibility to make sure that the headrest fits him properly. But come out here. This is a seat we got from Hendrick Motorsports. It actually has Velcro here. And these guys use thin spacers, and all they have to do is literally stick the Velcro foam over to this area, and that will adjust the head back over into position that they would like, because there's tremendous force on your head and your helmet going through the corners here in Kentucky. Guys?
All right, thank you, guys. Vinny?
Well, and the key for Josh Wise, guys, was just the fact that his head was buffeting so much he couldn't see, and he said he couldn't then have a feel for the race car. He started dropping several spots, but they came back on the radio, pumped him up after they fixed that headrest and said, before the headrest problem, you were running great lap times. Let's get back in the zone. Let's get comfortable again and start clicking them off. So keep an eye on the 7 and see if he starts moving forward.
Well, I love these two sitting up here next to me. They're all nice and comfortable saying, oh, man up, run without it. I remember you had a headrest there, Mr. Wallace.
Well, I had a headrest, but only used it for a crash if I crashed. You know? Oh, boy, I don't know Josh Weiss real well, but he must have a weak neck evidently because, I mean, man, I don't think you'd have to lay your head against a headrest to go through the corners, and especially this racetrack being so bumpy. You would think if he laid his head against the headrest, it would knock his helmet all around. But I don't know. Obviously, something I don't know about down there, but
sounds to me like a story of back in the days when men were men.
No, I'm not going back to the day. Trust me. But I don't know a lot of drivers that have to lay their head on the headrest to drive.
Joey Logano, your race leader. Let's check the speeds at the line. Let's see who's fastest right now. So far, who do you think? Mr. Logano? Whoa, Carl Edwards. And on down through the top 13, 14, and on down. Well,
Leffler there.
16th on the track, but third fastest that particular lap. So Carl Edwards, who has now moved up into 6th position. His next target would be Brad Keselowski, who has got the 32 of Reed Sorensen squarely in his sights. So we mentioned the fact we've had Joey Logano leading now for 56 laps. Reed Sorensen has led for 49. We've had 4 different leaders with 4 lead changes, and we are past halfway at Kentucky. That's what's left of Taylor Malsom's car. Our 4th caution as he has tagged the wall hard after losing control in the corner. And boy, a lot of damage, but he got on the radio and told everybody he was okay. Take a look here and we'll go through it.
Yeah, these two cars have been racing each other for quite a few laps. That's Coleman Presley on the outside. Like Malsom got just in the left rear of Coleman Presley. Man, the car went around on him hard.
He was running 15th at the time and coming off an 11th place finish last week in his Nationwide Series debut at Nashville.
Well, he used that car up.
Let's take a look at this one more time as he gets down into turn 1. These two just coming together at this point. It looks like Taylor's pretty high up on the racetrack. It looks like he couldn't get the car to turn down and got into the left rear. You see all the Goodyear markings on Coleman Presley's left rear tire rubbed off because of the collision.
And there's Taylor out and walking under his own power as he'll make it to the infield care center for the mandatory stop. 10 car's not had a lot of good luck this year. The 5th DNF of 2010, 4th time in a crash. So now, as we said, we're under our 4th caution. We're well past halfway. Let's talk a little bit of strategy. As that we talked about the fact the track is cooling a little bit. Night has changed track conditions. If you're the crew chief on the box, what are you thinking about making?
Well, I'm thinking about just getting 4 tires right here and trying to, position myself for the end of the race. And if you're going to pull any strategy, you want to try to think about maybe at the very end, if there's a few laps left, you might try a 2-tire stop.
All right, let's find out what's going to happen. Is we'll set up our triple pits, and Dr. Jerry Punch, you're going to be up again.
And Andy, I think most of the guys agree with you. 4 tires now and 2 in that final stop, which should come with about 20 laps to go. Reed Sorensen, since his car has been very tight after the 4-tire stop before, he will get 4 this time and an air pressure adjustment. What about Brad K? Vince?
Keselowski started 25th, worked his way up to 5th, but he says the car is too tight, especially in the front. It just doesn't work going into turn 3. They're going up around on the track bar and 4 tires. Jamie?
And the other Brad said he's too loose at the start, but it gets good air pressure adjustment. 4 tires and a water bottle. He lost his last one on the floorboard, Dave.
Leader Logano, it is free at the start, but don't go back because it's tight at the end. Justin Allgaier goes by. Logano takes 4. He's going to lose a couple of spots. They do make a wedge adjustment half round out of the left rear.
Well, you're right. Justin Allgaier did get past and will take over as he came in 3rd and is going to go out 1st. There he is. 2 tires on the 12 car, we're told. And then you saw also Michael Annett picking up a lot of track position. He was 14th coming in, and there he is right behind the 12. Take a look at it again from the line, and you'll see there goes Allgaier. And then who's coming up next? There's Michael Annett, followed by the 20 and the 18. Stay with us. We're coming back for the restart.